All right, I'm going to demonstrate now a problem that is asking us to find all the real zeros, and then they ask us to factor. Now normally if this wasn't multiple choice, I would just have you do P over Q and start finding them. But when it's multiple choice, you can kind of go through their list to see if they work, okay? So let's say we want to try the first answer, so we say, well, let's see if -1 is a 0. So we put 1 for x to the 4th, 2 for x cubed, -2 for x squared. Remember, this is your polynomial function up here. Okay, so 1 for x to the 4th, 2 for x cubed, -2 for x squared, 2 for the x term, and -3. So I put a line, bring down the 1, -1 times 1 is -1, add my column, -1 times 1 is -1, add my column, -3. -1 times -3 is +3, adds to be 5. -1 times 5 is -5, adds to be -8. Because it doesn't add to be 0, it's not a 0. So I know I could scratch out that, okay? So it's not -1. That's the only one, the answer that had -1 in it, so I don't have to worry about that. So let's say we try B. So I try the 2. So I put in a 2, and I put 1, 2, -2, 2, -3. Bring down the 1. 1 times 2 is 2, add the column 4. 2 times 4, 8, add the column 6. 2 times 6, 12, add my column 14. 2 times 14, 28. Add the column and I get 25, so no, that doesn't work either. Okay, now the last two are 1 and 3 and -3 and 1. If I try 1, it's probably going to work because those are my only two answers left. So if I try 3 and it works, it'll be this answer. If I try -3 and it works, it should be D. Okay, so let's say we try 3 for here. 1 wouldn't be a good one to eliminate because it's in both of those. So let's try 3. So I put 1, 2, -2, 2, and -3. Put my line here. Bring down the 1. 3 times 1, 3. Add my column. 3 times 5, 15. Add my column. 3 times 13 is 39. Add my column. Can you already see it's not going to come out to be 0? This comes out to be 123, so this is 120. Just to be sure I didn't make a mistake somewhere, I'm going to double check. By default, it should be answer D. But just in case, I'm going to go ahead and make sure and check to see, okay? Maybe, let me see how we're doing on, how can you see? Yeah, I think I'll move over here. So let's say I go ahead and I try -3, okay? Let me make sure you can see to the right. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I put a 1, a 2, a -2, a 2, -3. Bring down the 1. -3 times 1 is -3. Add my column. -3 times -1 is +3. Add my column. -3 times 1 is -3. Add my column. -3 times -1 is +3. Woohoo! It worked. So -3 worked. Let's just make sure 1 works also, okay? Because 1's supposed to work also. So we're using my depressed. As soon as it's equal to 0, you can use the depressed polynomial now. So I bring down the 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Add my column. 1 times 0 is 0. Add my column. 1 times 1 is 1. Add my column. So yes, 1 does work. And then it said to write the remaining polynomial down. So x squared plus 1. Notice that's the constant. That's the x term, which is 0. And x squared is that. So yeah, that's right. So yahoo, D is the right answer.